It's time we move on to match number 15 of the TATA IPL 2024. It's between the Royal Challengers and the Lucknow Super Giants. This time last season, this fixture was the most awaited one. Well, we all know why, the reason behind, but everything got sorted in the Cricket World Cup 2023, even the game between KKR and RCB as well. So now things are cool. It's back to business, back to cricket. I have Kushang with me. Kushang, welcome to the show. Talk us through this game, RCB versus LSG. How important this game is for both the sides, because RCB need to win as well. Similarly, Lucknow as well. They have to kickstart their winning campaign as well.
Yup, a humdinger of a clash, at least in the last year it was. Absolute scenes in both games and a
Yeah.
lot of drama, lots of drama. And I was hoping for something of the same sort this time around. Obviously, Gigi is not there and Naveen and Kohli being on good terms. But still, in the context of the IPL, RCB have lost a couple of games now already, and playing at home, it's never been a good hunting ground. So they need to pull up their socks with their bowling lineup and win this game. And obviously, LSG are coming off a good victory now. The pace sensation of Mayank Yadav and a few
Yeah.
things to look out for there as well. So it'll be a very, very interesting game still, and both teams will be looking to get those 2 points. More so RCB, in my opinion, because it's a home game for them.
Okay, so the pressure is a little bit on the home side, to be honest. And it's time we move on to the head-to-head between these two teams. And Kushang, it's the head-to-head. We have seen 4 times these two teams have faced each other. 3 times victorious RCB. The only time LSG has won had to be that game against them at the Chinnaswamy Stadium last season. But as a whole, RCB dominates this fixture. Are you confident that they can get these things over the line?
You can never be sure, can you? Because LSG stack up brilliantly as well. And the kind of batting lineup they have, absolutely brilliant. And as I just said, Mayank Yadav, the new pace sensation that they've just found, could bring something new to the team. And given this boundaries will be a bit shorter, maybe Mayank Yadav might travel, but you just never know with the sheer pace that can make a batter do funny things. And the head-to-head, in an IPL game, you just never know. It is on the day how you perform. A head-to-head becomes relatively not so relevant, in my opinion. And given the conditions, the team who performs well will obviously get over the line. I'll try to pin my money on RCB. I'm hoping for that, but we'll see how it pans out.
Yeah, the team that comes out on top on that given day is the winner, absolutely right. But when it comes to, as you said, not a great home record, 41 is to 40 in the IPL history when it comes to RCB at the Chinnaswamy Stadium. Not a good record, 50-50 to be honest. Home dominance is not there. Is it also because of the conditions that is not favoring any such team? It's always a neutral, just like a Wankhede Stadium.
Yeah, absolutely. This is not really a home advantage in any sense of the game, because you win the toss, you chase, you have won half more than half the game, in my opinion. Anything is chaseable on this ground. Shorter boundaries, simple wickets, not too much happening. And you can just come in and play your aggressive natural game and chase down anything that's on the board. And the last game that these two teams had at Chinnaswamy was a testament to that. Nicholas Puran comes out and just bangs everything away, 20 balls 60, and all of a sudden they've chased a score that looked like they would not be able to chase. So I think, again, in my opinion, the team that chases will end up winning the game. Not a good home record, but you can't really call it a home advantage in any way, any sorts of way.
Absolutely, and you have said it once again. Advantage to the team that is chasing, and that's been deployed for the at the Chinnaswamy Stadium. But it's time we move on to the schedule for both the sides. And talking about RCB schedule, the previous game they lost against the Kolkata Knight Riders. Before that, they won against the Punjab Kings. The last 2 games, here it is. But once again, at home against Lucknow today. But how big a loss was it against the Royal Challengers Bangalore? Did you think that you got enough total on the board, or was it not par as per you?
I mean, in retrospect, if you look at it, yes, it was not enough. They just came out aggressively and just chased it down as if it was nothing. But when the KKR were bowling, it did seem like the pitch was a bit on the slower side. They were bowling slow balls into the pitch, and it was hard to get it off. And obviously, the batting lineup did not respond as well as you thought it would. Faf got out early, and then once Cam Green got out, Maxwell never got going. A few drop catches here and there. Particular comes in, he goes. So Kohli had to play that holding role. And as much is said about the strike rate, I think it was necessary for him to play in that manner as well. So at the halfway stage, I felt maybe the pitch is slow and maybe we can get something out of this. But the way they batted with Narayan at top, he seems to have just some sort of a love for RCB, comes out and bangs us for fun. But it is what it is. We've got to take it in our stride like we always do and focus on this one now.
And how important is the batting order, to be honest? Because I noticed that in the previous game, I think Dinesh Karthik should have come in at least ahead of an Anuj Rawat, because at that time you needed a clean hitter. Probably not as well as per your expressions, but is it important to have a team which has a very balanced batting unit?
I think with respect to the RCB batting unit, at least, I'm not opposed to sending Anuj Rawat ahead of DK. He is our main keeper and batter going forward. DK
Yep.
playing his last season, he's had a good couple of games. He can be, for a finisher role at least, you can blow hot, blow cold, anything can happen. You can't really say a lot about that. But the one thing I'd like to see is Cam Green persisted with that number three or even open with him. I have no issues with that. If at all Kohli is looking to play number three in the World Cup, then he has to play three here and Cam Green can open. I've said that multiple times. He has to be in the top three, Cam Green. Partigar has to bat four, Maxwell has to bat five, and then based on
Yep.
the situation, if you have just 2 to 3 overs left, then maybe send DK ahead of Anuj. And if at all there's 4 overs left, then you can send Anuj Rawat ahead of him just so that he can take a bit of time and then tee off at the end. DK can
Yep.
come in and hit it from ball number one. We've seen that. So the
Exactly.
batting lineup is more than fine. It's just about the fact that uh, people like Faf and Maxi now who are due, they give in some performances and help the others out.
Okay, responsibility needs to be taken, and we have seen RC very much reliant on the overseas players. So yes, that's rightly said. But going on to the opponents, LSG, they are coming off to a big win against the Punjab Kings at home. But now they face the Royal Challengers Bangalore today, and then again they go back to Ikana Stadium to face the Gujarat Titans. Important game for them because they can fancy themselves today at the Chinnaswamy Stadium to get back-to-back wins.
Absolutely, any team would fancy playing at Chinnaswamy Stadium and coming off the kind of win they are. Because in that game, they were looking like they're down and out. They were getting smacked around the park by Shikhar Dhawan initially and a bit of Bairstow. And then the way Mayank Yadav inspired them, brilliant bowling, absolute sheer pace. I think that would really, really G them up because a youngster coming in and performing that way, it lifts the whole team up. And given that it'll be a batting paradise most probably again okay, at Chinnaswamy, they'd be looking at him as an X factor to get them a few wickets, maybe get Kohli Faf early, and then it will be trouble stations for RCB again. They'll be fancying their chances big time, and the toss would be again as important as it always is. But I just feel that it's 70-30 to the chasing team as it always is.
Okay, 70-30. I might go for an 80-20. We'll come to the pitch report very soon. But when it comes to RCB versus LSG, as we said, they faced each other 4 times. I had to choose the best match till date, and I think Kushank, you will not deny the fact this could have been the best match till date. And it is the match between LSG and RCB, the Chinnaswamy iconic game at the final ball. This moment, did you think that Harshal Patel could have won you the game? Rather, tied the
Why?
game, I'm sorry.
I cursed him so hard when we lost the game. I was so angry. The man can't whip the bails off. That's the most basic thing that you can do in cricket, and he could not do that. We could have won it right there, but and then DK fumbled at the end, and we ended up losing a game which we should have won. But I mean, what drama, as I said, and I remember the other day one of the commentators saying about Yash Dayal, one man's trash is another man's treasure. Harshal
Yeah.
Patel is one man's trash, another man's trash. So I'm not too fussed about Harshal Patel going away, and I'm happy he's not there with us this time around. I hope for a similar kind of clash, but we hope come out on the better side this time around. A high scoring game for sure, but what a clash this was. Till the last ball, your nerves are jangling, and then a man cat attempted a miskeeping from the keeper, and all sorts of things happening. Brilliant
Yeah.
game.
Nervous moments, but that innings of 19 balls of 62 from Nicholas Puran completely changed the game on its head, and then they just won by 1 wicket. What a game it was! But yes, this is the best match till date. Let's move on to the pitch report of the Chinnaswamy Stadium. And Kushang, no doubt about that. As you can see in the top of your screen, 37 times the team have batted first and eventually won. 49 times the team have eventually won the game. So it shows you the amount of difference you have. Similarly, that 49 times the team have won the toss and eventually won the game compared to 37 times. So chasing is the ploy, winning the toss is the ploy. So can you tell me any other thing apart from chasing the target? Even if it's a 225 to 30 target, will you be fancy that you can chase this down?
The numbers are generous, I must say, because you win the toss, you don't even think twice and you chase. Because I remember there was a season in between where the pitch was a bit tacky and maybe
Yep.
teams batted first. Then that is why the numbers might be a bit more fair when you look at it. But absolutely no doubt in my head, you win the toss, you chase, and no matter the total, you back your bowlers initially. You will have to go in with the mindset that you will get bashed around a little bit because of the
Exactly.
dimension and the kind of pitch it is. 180 plus is almost a surety here. You've done absolutely brilliantly if you concede anything under 180. So you just go out there, and even when you're chasing 200, you know if you take it to the last 6, 7 overs, even needing 90 or 100, very
Yeah.
possible if you
You
have
can
wickets in
fancy.
hand.
Yep.
So I think chasing any sort of score is not an issue on this pitch. You just the kind of batting lineups that we have in IPL nowadays, every team is stacked with brilliant hitters, and then the impact player rule comes into play as well. You have an extra option. So you can just go completely aggressively throughout the innings, and it pays dividends on a pitch like this.
Absolutely, and I think this sums it up the pitch report for the Chinnaswamy Stadium. It's time we move on to the top three players to watch out for. And Kushank, this is the three players I've chosen per side. Dinesh Karthik, Glenn Maxwell, and Mayank Dagar for the Royal Challengers Bangalore. LSG, it is Devdutt Padikal's return to Chinnaswamy Stadium. We have Nicholas Puran and Ravi Bishnoi. I didn't name the big names, someone like Virat Kohli, K. Rahul, because it is obvious they will perform at their best. But these three players, if you can sum up all the six players, how important are they to perform today?
Yeah, Nicky P, I cannot forget that innings for sure. He'll be a huge threat because he comes in on any track. He'll come in and he'll be aggressive from ball number one. So that is
And
something that,
potentially he can be the captain once again. We can see K. Rahul as
yep,
the impact. Yeah.
exactly. Yep, that is very possible. I think he was struggling with a bit of a niggle was scale, and mostly he will not again keep or field, and will be only there to bat. So Nicky P, obviously he is what he is. We've seen it across leagues
Yeah.
in different parts of the world. He's done it. Ravi Bishnoi again. Teams, at least with our batting, we've seen Maxwell struggle against spinners. We've seen Kohli not being able to accelerate against spin, and that is where Bishnoi can come in, and that is the kind of spin that has troubled RCB as well. So Narayan or Chakravarti or Harpreet Brar, similar kind of spinners. So he'll be a handful for sure. Devdutt Padikkal, I'm not too certain of whether he performs or not. I would like to throw in
Yeah.
another name, which is Marcus Stoinis.
Okay.
Absolutely done nothing for a lot of time now, and out of form players have a chance of doing well against us, which is always the case. So I'll just throw Marcus Stoinis in, and given the conditions as well, he'll look to be aggressive, and when he strikes them, they stay hit. He'll be a handful on this pitch as well. Maxi
Then
is
I
due
would
for a big one.
request you if you can be generous to your RCB captain as well.
Yes, Faf is in bit of a trouble as well. He's not been in the best of forms, but again, as I said, we play half of our games on this track, so eventually he will come. But in the first game, he was nice. He was not too bad. He started off well, so I'm not too fussed about Faf. He will come good, and same about Maxi. The day when he strikes form, it'll be over for the rest of the teams. He'll just come out all guns blazing. These two are players who will anyway eventually find form.
Yeah.
Mayank Dagar is one of the tricky ones for me because we do lack spin options. He was very impressive last season when he played against us. He's been just about fine this season as well. Recently picked up in the last game his first wicket.
Yeah.
And we've got to admit that the track does not suit spinners
Suit
or
him. Yeah.
bowlers in
Exactly.
general. So you've just got to give him that leeway that you have to expect him to go for 9, 10, and over. If he gets you 2 or 3 wickets, that is the
That's
thing
the
that you're
bonus.
looking at. Yeah, so that is the kind of thing that you need to look at with Mayank Dagar. Be aggressive, don't be shy to go for runs, and that is how he can impact the innings. And DK with the finishing touches, obviously, he's found form again. He's won us a game in the last one, and I'm hoping he signs off on a good note this season.
So if a batsman is striking well and that well he's middling the ball, would you not fancy him to face more deliveries? Just like a KKR does it with Andrew Russell. They don't send him until it's around the 14th or the 15th over, but when he starts striking, you might feel like, I wish he had 10 more deliveries. Similarly, kind of a DK. Would you keep him that late till the 17th over? Would you send him in the 14th and 13th over? Be
It
responsible.
does depend upon the situation. To be very honest, I've seen him perform in KKR. He comes in with 10 overs left. He looks like he's absolutely lost. He does not know what to do here. So that must be his just comfort space. When he comes out 3 overs to go, he knows he's clear in his head what he has to do. He has to strike from ball number one. He has to clear the boundary and finish well. And I think that is the role that he's been given, and the kind of batting order we have. We have players to carry out the other roles that we need a holding role, or let's say we need a partnership. You have people like Kohli and Patidar and others who can do that role. DK has been solely given that role to finish the innings, come in the last 3 overs, and I think that is the perfect role for him. He's done well in the past 2 seasons with that, and he started well this season as well. So I think you don't change what is not broken and just keep him there and let him do his thing.
Okay, and I completely agree with what you have said. So that sums it up. Thank you so much for this as well. It's time we move on to the top three battles to watch out for. And for the Royal Challengers Bangalore and the Lucknow Super Giants, these are the three ones. As you said, Ravi Bishnoi and the Glenn Maxwell has to be one battle. Naveen versus Kohli. I want to see this because now it's a friendly nature. But see, because Naveen has been bowling exceptionally well in the domestic circuits, he can take the number. Similarly, a Mohammad Siraj and Nicholas Puran as well. Siraj was very ordinary. I'll be very honest. He was very ordinary in the game against the Kolkata Knight Riders. He has to step up as well. If you get some of these three battles, and which one are you mostly eagerly waiting to watch?
Can I just go a bit off this page and say Kohli versus
Surely.
Mayank Yadav? I mean,
Okay.
that is a mouth-watering clash in my opinion. I'm really looking forward to it because against raw pace, just sheer raw pace, Kohli is one of the best batsmen in the world. You'll
Yep.
see him time the ball, and it looks so beautiful to watch. And Mayank Yadav on a high of the last game, just playing his second game, young, energetic. That will be a short battle to watch out in the power play. and it is very exciting to have that in prospect. Bishnoi and Maxi, obviously Maxi has struggled, and it has been a long time that we've seen that as well. It's been happening repeatedly. Chakravarti, Narayan, Harpreet Brar, or
Yeah.
Jadeja for that matter. So I think that battle again might just be won by Ravi Bishnoi there. Pooran might get the better of Siraj. Siraj does not look in great form at the moment.
Yeah.
He needs a bit of a swing up front to get going and get into the rhythm, which he's not been finding recently. So the only battle I feel that might go RCB's way is a battle of Kohli with anyone else, because he's the main string for us. I
Yeah.
still feel Bishnoi and Nicky B come out on top in their respective battles.
Okay, and yes, talking about Bishnoi versus Maxwell, that could be a very interesting one because we've seen Maxwell not been in control when it comes to spinners, and similarly the dismissal against Narayan, the way he made his position was very awkward for him, and to find somebody like a deep point, and that's very awkward kind of a field setting, and even because the field setting was done for a switch hit kind of a thing from him, but eventually faced a, I don't know what to say, a slap shot that finding a
I
deep
mean,
point, so it was
he
very
does
awkward.
play that. Just find the man of Australia jersey and send him in, and he'll do all sorts. Not a
At the
problem.
Wankhede Stadium, you can see
At the
that.
Wankhede Stadium as well. Just tell him you have a broken leg, an Australia jersey, and just see the magic happen. Absolutely.
We might see that, but I shouldn't. I don't know. I shouldn't challenge somebody like a Maxwell on a given day. He will show you that he is one of the best. So we might see that today against the Lucknow Super Giant. That's been rightly said. It's time we move on to the main part, which is the predicted playing 11. Kushan starting with the home side, Royal Challengers Bangalore. Have not made any changes. Probably Cameron Green might step in once again at number 3 because that position is suiting him a lot. Similarly, I want to see a Lockie Ferguson in place of an Alzari Joseph. Do you fancy a Lockie Ferguson or do you fancy a Reece Topley here?
All said and done, not Azari Joseph. So it is. I still feel when we did that pre-auction show as well, I was opposed to a Lockie Ferguson and an Azari Joseph because of the fact that when you play half the game with Chinnaswamy, shorter boundaries, good pitches to bat on, extra pace will travel. That is not at all a
Absolutely.
thing to
And
be.
similarly, the same mistake they have done against the Kolkata Knight Riders as well. You saw your
Exactly.
pacers bowling cutters, but he's going for bouncers. I don't know what
I
was the
mean,
game plan.
I mean, his potent weapon is the pace that he has, but it's just not the venue to do it on. Let's be
Yep.
honest. Even with the Lockie Ferguson, yes, he may have a bit more experience. And when we had that chat, as I said, I would go Lockie over Alzari any day because of the experience. He has a good slower ball and he will use it. Not like
Yep.
Alzari just trying to bang it in continuously. So if at all it's a choice between Lockie and Alzari, I have to go Lockie. But Reece Topley might not be a bad option again, but with him as well, a potent weapon for him is up top, trying to swing it into the batsman. And I don't
Exactly.
think you'll find a lot at this venue. So the bowlers still, even with Lockie in or Reece Topley in, looks like a very ordinary kind of a bowling lineup. I'm not too certain with this. The batting stacks up brilliantly every time. You look at
Exactly.
it and any team would look at it and be scared for a bit, as if on the day this team can obliterate us, but with the bowling you're always found wanting. And I genuinely at this point do not understand where do you get that one or two people from to do the job for you, because everyone who seems to come in just seems to go for a lot of runs, and you can't blame the bowlers as well. It's a tough pitch to bowl on, but I'll love to see a lot more variety coming in from someone like a Siraj as well, and
Yep.
see hopefully Lockie Ferguson and use his slow balls to good effect as well.
Okay, and he's somebody like Yas Dehal has started the season very well, but he just had
Exactly.
an off game against the Kolkata Knight. He's getting the swing, which is a very good sign. But we might see this playing 11. But yes, I think Lockie Ferguson has to play, or anybody, but not an Alzari Joseph, rather than to be very
But if there's any
specific.
team that would not even consider making a decision like this, it is RCB. I don't think these management have brains. They'll still play Azari Joseph on just the name of backing a player. I think it should not happen.
Also,
Hopefully,
the
Lockie
price tag.
Ferguson, all fingers crossed. Not just because of the price tag. I've said this multiple times before that many fans, just people sitting at homes, can take better decisions than an RCB management team, and I just don't don't get it. But okay, I mean,
I'll keep
we
that
just got to
aside
bear
because
with it.
we have seen that demo in the Pat Cummings bid as well. So I think we shouldn't go that far away. But let's go back to the Lucknow Super Giants team as well. KL Rahul, we don't know about the captaincy role as well, but he will definitely open whether it's an impact player or not. But this is the team on paper I see. But as an impact player, you might either see Ayush Badani if you're chasing, but as you mentioned, Mayank Yadav if you're bowling second. So what does this team look like? Any changes for you, Kushank?
Deepak Huda was left out last game, if I'm not wrong, and he has not been informed. Badoni might find a place in the 11, and Mayank Yadav might be the impact player in that case because he's done extremely well. There is no way you're leaving him out. Mayank Yadav plays, and the other guy who played, I think, was a spinner up front, Siddharth, if I'm not
Yeah,
wrong.
he played in place of Yash Thakur. I haven't got him just because it's a Chinnaswamy. You don't fancy so many spinners in your 11.
Yeah, maybe all they have is Sikronal and Bishnoi do the job. So maybe not required again. Yes, Yash Thakur can do the job. Naveen Ulhaq is brilliant moves in, and I'll see Mayank Yadav as the impact sub and Ayush Baduni playing in place of Deepak Huda because he's not been in form. And one thing that I've still been wondering is where is Kyle Mills? But it's hard to find a place for him in the 11 given that you're already using your overseas players. Are you? Marcus
Yeah.
Stoinis, Nicholas Puran, Quinny D, and Naveen. Yeah, so it is hard to find a place for him. Any way he comes in is in place of Quinton de Kock, which will be
Exactly.
a harsh decision to
Tough.
take. But I'd like to see Kyle Mayers in the 11 because of the fact that he can bowl up front and then smack it out the park at the top as well.
Yeah, not just you. Every single person who's spoken about Lucknow Super Giants 11 wants to see a Kyle Mayers, but just doesn't fit you. Quinton de Kock
Just
scored
because
runs
if
the
you are
previous.
looking at it as from a wicket keeping prospect, then Nicky P can keep as well. So that is not an issue. And he
It
has
could
been
be
short
just
of
because
runs as
also the
compared.
reason Quinton has scored a 50 in the previous game, and that I think could fancy him keeping the spot as well. So yes, that experience at up top as well. You can also debate and say that David Padikal can also open your innings. So yes, that can
Yeah,
also be a thing. But I
absolutely.
think Deacock will start and will continue this game today against the Royal Challengers Bangalore. It's a flat wicket. He can fancy himself somebody like a Mohammad Siraj and donk him for sixes in the leg side as well. But this sums up the predicted playing 11 as well. It's time we move on to the predictions time now. Kushank, it's RCB versus LSG today, match number 15. What's your prediction? Is it the team chasing is the winner?
I'll not point towards a particular team. The team chasing wins, hands down for me. As much as my heart wants to say RCB, I've suffered enough with this team. I just can't put a finger on it. To be very honest, I'll tell you in a few hours' time when the toss happens that which team is winning. But the team chasing
Absolutely.
99.9% will win the game.
So toss is crucial, like you rightly said, and I think yes, at the Chinnaswamy Stadium, the team chasing is having a huge, huge advantage. There's no due, but it's just the pitch is getting better and better as the game is progressing. That concludes the show. Thank you so much, Kushank. Thank you to all the viewers who have watched this video. Match number 15 today: RCB versus LSG at the Chinnaswamy Stadium. I'm sure we will have a high-scoring game today as well. Till then, don't forget to subscribe to the Fifth Umpire and press the bell icon as well. Till then, thank you so much and bye bye.